Uh, in this part, we will finish the other topologies, but how they reconfigure, what is the advantages and disadvantages of these kind of topologies. So in a star topology, each device has a dedicated point-to-point link only to a central controller, usually called a hub. The devices are not directly linked to one another, unlike a mesh topology. The star topology does not allow direct traffic between devices. The controller acts as an exchange. If one device wants to send data to another, it sends the data to the controller, which then relays the data to the other connected devices. That means that the hub, there is a central hub of communication. It will be the controller, and each of the devices are connected to it. That is known as a star topology. There is a central hub, and each one of the hosts, all of the hosts will be connected to each other in the central hub that has been linked to each other, but they are not directly linked. In mesh topology, each and every node has been linked to each other, but a star topology, that is a controller section that will control the entire network, and each of the hosts and nodes will be connected to the central hub. What the central hub do? If a request, that means the R1 request, come from this number one computer to find it, just to communicate with number 3 computer, so it sends a request. So the hub just examines the request and just establish the connection between 3 to 1, and after that the request came here. It shows the green signal as it is. It shows the green signal, yes, I'm there. So they will say send another acknowledgement, and the connection would be established between number 1 and number 3 computers or hosts or nodes, anything that you can say. So in star topology, there should have to be a central hub. Okay. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages? The advantages of star topology is that is easy to manage and maintain, because it has a central hub. Each node requires separate cable. Easy to locate problems, because cable failure only affect a single user. That is as same as the mesh. Easy to extend the network without disturbing to the entire network. We can extend it to a certain period of distance, because there is a central hub. You can just make a connection whenever or wherever the other workstations going through. Due to hub or switch device, network control management is much easier. Due to hub or switch device, network control and management is much easier. Fault identification and removing nodes in network is easy. It provides very high speed of data transfer. And fault identification is because there is a central hub behind that. Okay. Now, what are the disadvantages of the star topology? The entire performance that has been depends on the center hub, the single device hub or switch. If the hub or switch device goes down, the entire network will be dead. That has been that is the most of the networks are nowadays are star topology. In star topology, internets are also using star topology, because there is a central hub. If the server down, we didn't get the network easily, so that disturbs. So star topology requires more wires compared to the ring and bus topology. They need more wires to just connect each other. Extra hardware is required. Is hubs and switches, which adds to cost. And that's also a costly thing. Okay, now we have properly know of the star topology. The review is there is a central hub that will be connected to each and every nodes. Okay, what are the bus topology? So we have came to know about the star and the mesh topology that describe point-to-point connections. But a bus topology is different. There is a single point which will connect to different points. That means point to multi-point. A bus topology, on the other hand, is multi-point connection. That is the multi-point connection. One long cable acts as a backbone of a link. That is the cable end. That is the this cable end. I can see there is a cable go through to a single network, and that is the backbone of the network. And each drop line includes servers or hosts. Sorry, the hosts or nodes. So nodes are connected to the bus cable by drop lines or by taps. A drop line is a connection. Drop line is a connection running between the device and the main cable. Drop line is a connection running between the device and the main cable. What is drop line? That has been the connection running between the device and main cable. Running between the device and main cable. A tap is a connector. The tap is a connector that either splices into the main cable or punctures the sheathing of a cable to create a contact with the metallic core. There is a metallic core around the drop line, and that has been connected through a tap. That is a metallic core. Okay, it just relays with each and every drop lines. Okay, as the signal travels along the backbone, if it is signal 100, the bit streams go through it, so some of its energy is transformed into heat. Therefore, it becomes weaker and weaker as it travels farther and farther. That means if the cable go farther, so the data may be lost. For this reason, there is a limit on the number of taps a bus can support. So the backbone, it has some capacity, and on the distance between those taps and how the distance will go through to the top line, that means the distance between the tap and the node is known as the drop line. The distance is also important. Okay. Okay, so what are the advantages of bus topology? That's easy to connect or remove devices in network without affecting any other devices, because that has been connected through a tap. In case of any computer or device failure, there will be no effect on other devices or network. Cable cost is less as compared to the other topology, mesh and star. It is easy to understand topology. It is easy to expand by joining two cables together. No hubs or switches are required. These are the advantages on bus topology. Okay, there are some disadvantages too. The first disadvantage of the bus topology, that of any device failure, it is difficult to find faults in a network because there is a single backbone line, cable line. So it is difficult whether the problem came forward. And if the backbone cable damages, the entire system network will fail. Same as the star topology, if the central hub just goes down. So if the cable damages, backbone cable, entire system will be down. I can give you an example. That is the fiber optic cable that has been connected, that is a submarine cable that has been connected throughout our country, uses the bus topology. So sometimes we came to know that in some point they didn't get the data, or the line will cut down. So if the backbone of the cable damages, the entire network system will be failed. So if network traffic increases or device increases, the performance of the network decreases. Proper termination is required to prevent bouncing of signals. The use of terminators is a must. So you have to have a terminator. Without that, the signals will prevent bouncing back. If network traffic increases or devices increases, the performance of the network decreases. It is slower because one computer transmits at a time. It provides very low security because all the computers receive the sent signal from the source. The length of the cable is limited. That is also a disadvantage. So we are heading towards our last but not the least topology, that is ring topology. Okay, so ring topology, you can see here there are some repeaters right there, and all the repeaters are connected through a ring. Okay, each and every device has been connected throughout the ring. A signal is passed along the ring in one direction from one device to another. So that's the thing. Just like the advantages,